we got a lot to get to. After a week like Saturday, everything is shaken up. Let's take a look at where we're at. First off, the AP poll, top 10. Number 1, Oregon. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, Penn State. Then it gets a little weird. Number 5, Notre Dame. Number 6, Georgia. Number 7, Tennessee. Number 8, Miami. Number 9, SMU. And number 10, Indiana. So based on the AP poll, this is what the playoff would look like. Oregon, with the number 1 seed, would play the winner of Georgia, Tennessee. The playoff committee says that they will not tweak rankings to avoid conference matchups. I don't believe them. That game will not happen in the first round. Georgia, Tennessee. Number 2 seed, Texas, will play Notre Dame, SMU. Old money, new money. I like that matchup. Notre Dame, SMU with the 7-10. Number 3 seed, Miami, would play the winner of number 6 seed, Penn State, against number 11 seed, Indiana. Again, the committee is not going to let that game happen, but that's what it would look like. And Arizona State. Well, they're not.
Penn State and Indiana haven't played each other.
I know, but they're not going to let conference. It's not going. We are not going to get conference games in week 1. If we get a conference game in week 1, I will stand up here and say, I'm sorry, committee, I was wrong. We're not getting conference games in the first round of playoffs. Boise gets the bye because they're ranked higher than Arizona State. They would be not hosting a game on the Blue Turf. They'd be waiting in the quarterfinals for the winner of Ohio State and Arizona State. I do not like that matchup for the Sun Devils at all. But that'd be the 5-12 game. The biggest development, I think, Chris, is the ACC all of a sudden. I think on Bubble Watch, I wrote that their chances of having an at-large team were like single digits. Now it's like almost a coin flip. If Clemson has another quality win now. South Carolina has floated up. They probably will be in the top 15 of the committee rankings. If Clemson can win that game, they got a shot.
Clemson has done nothing to this point. Like, literally nothing.
I don't disagree with you.
They should not be in the conversation.
The loser of the ACC championship will also have a shot. I think the ACC is probably getting 2 teams in. I think there's still some shenanigans.
I would take Miami or SMU loser over Clemson. 100%.
That win, if they beat South Carolina, it's going to be close. And then Texas, if they lose to A&M, will be interesting to see what the committee does. Before this week, I would have said Texas should be really, really nervous. I think they'll be fine unless they lose by a lot, even though their resume is not good. Chris, do you want to run down what your playoff projections would look like from the Athletic 134?
Number 1, Oregon versus the winner of number 8, Georgia, number 9, Tennessee. Again, don't know if that'll happen, but that is the setup. Number 2, Texas versus the winner of number 7, Notre Dame, number 10, Indiana. An intra-Indiana game.
Yeah,
there
Chris,
would be a lot of fun.
Why is that not like a rivalry? Is it just because like Indiana's been bad?
Notre
Dame
and Indiana like don't cross over very much at all. Like Notre Dame Purdue is a rivalry. Notre Dame Michigan, Notre Dame Michigan State, but Notre Dame Indiana, I don't know exactly why, but it just never ever became a thing in much of anything. Number 3, SMU against the winner of number 6, Penn State, or number 11, Miami.
That's an interesting callback to some 80s Orange Bowls.
SMU should be ranked ahead of Miami, like 100%, and I don't know why this is not the case. In the polls, in the committee, like...
Couldn't be brand bias.
There is no reason as... By the way, Miami beat Wake Forest. The final score looks great. That was a game, like, deep into the third quarter against a bad Wake Forest team. SMU has been rolling for a bit. They've got the same wins or better wins and a better loss to BYU compared to Miami. Like, SMU should be ranked ahead of Miami. And then lastly, number 4, Boise State against either number 5, Ohio State, or number 12, Arizona State. So while I do have the Big 12 champion ranked lowest among the 5 conference champions, I do think the Big 12 likely will jump Boise State for that last conference spot. Boise's been teetering a bit. They barely beat Wyoming. A couple weeks ago, they barely beat Nevada. Had to come back against San Jose State. Like, they are tumbling, and now they're going to play UNLV in the conference championship game. They are not a sure thing. But I think Arizona State, if they beat Arizona and whoever in the Big 12 championship, they probably get it. But these things completely change every week, these projections, which is why the playoff is fun. Every week it's totally different.
Damien, we have Georgia, Notre Dame, Penn State, and Ohio State hosting first-round games. If you could pick, just as a player experience, where do you feel like would be the place you would want to play the most? Not really like team-wise, just like the place that you would feel like, this was a cool life experience to play here.
Yeah, if I can make the conditions the way that I want it, I would say night game.
How do you want them?
Night game, whiteout in Death Valley, Happy Valley. I think that would be like, I feel like that's like one of the ultimate college football experiences that I haven't experienced. Like that and playing at the Rose Bowl were like two things that I wish I could have done that I never got to do. Yeah, that's not your thing. But no, yeah, definitely. If I could choose, I would definitely go up to Penn State on a whiteout, beat the shit out of them, prove that we can play in the cold, send them packing, and move on to the next round.
Anytime Penn State Alabama comes up, I just think of Rob Bolden like just getting absolutely just destroyed. I'm sorry that game happened
By the way,
to you.
Looking at that, I do think if we had that matchup, Penn State Miami, that would either be the Friday night or the Saturday, probably more likely the Saturday night game. So we would finally get the night Penn State whiteout at a night game. Not on Peacock, and Penn State fans will finally get what they wanted all
That
along.
might be Penn State Miami. I'd be fun because that's like the most fun team in college football against the least fun team in college football.
Right.
Head to head. Generally, the least fun teams win those games, but I think I take Penn State in that ball game.